But if we're talking about boy who cried wolf, who the hell would get another third tweet that is written so nonchalantly like it is, as if he's just paddling on a pool? Simon Miller, the bald asshole here, ready to talk to you about nonsense once again. I wanted to do this over the weekend when it broke, but then life got crazy. Boring, who cares? It's not really a fitness thing, but I'm into sport too, and I know loads of people that watch my channel into sport too. If you're not, you won't have clicked the video. If you are, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. Conor McGregor at the weekend absolutely cracked me up when he retired for the third time in 3 or 4 years, whatever the hell it was. The best bit is, let's just get straight into it. So I got the tweets down here because while we always talk about the when he retired the first 2 times, the first time he retired was on April 19th, 2016, where at 7:29 p.m. he wrote, "I have decided to retire young, space, thanks for the cheese, space, catch yars later." Well, that's an amazing way to retire. Imagine you'd got to the top of your sport and then basically turned around and gone, "I can't be bothered no more. Leave me alone." Speed on a few years to March 26, 2019 at 6:18 a.m. I don't know where he was when he wrote this, but I love the fact that he just woke up and went, retire. He said, "Hey guys, quick announcement." Like he's just going to tell you he's going to pop to the shops. "I've decided to retire from the sport formerly known as mixed martial art today." No S. It's just mixed martial art. There's one of them. "I wish all my old colleagues well going forward in competition. I now join my former partners on this venture already in retirement. Proper pina coladas on me, fellas." And then obviously over the weekend, he did another one where he said, "Hey guys," it's like a YouTube video. "Hey guys, I've decided to retire from fighting. Thank you all for the amazing memories. What a ride it's been. Here is a picture of myself and my mother in Las Vegas post one of my world title wins. Pick the home of your dreams, Mags. I love you. Whatever you desire, it is yours." And then he put a lovely little heart emoji in there or something like that. Now, it's nonsense. This is 100% nonsense. And you kind of get the idea it's nonsense when you hear some of the quotes he gave to ESPN, because he said, "The game just does not excite me, and that's that. All this waiting around, there's nothing happening. I'm going through opponent options, and there's nothing really there at the minute. I had my goals, my plans this season. I had everything laid out. Obviously, the world has gone bleeding bonkers at the minute. There's F all happening at the minute. They want to throw me up and down weights and offer me stupid fights. I don't really give an F. I'm over it. They should have just kept the ball rolling." And then he goes on about Nurmagomedov, Khabib, and Gaethje GB move back to September, meaning when September comes around, doesn't know what's going to go on, and so on and so forth. I mean, Gaethje then came out and said that McGregor's on another bender and made reference to that old guy that he beat up in a bar. And even Floyd Mayweather got involved. He's like, "Well, you told me we were going to have another fight, Conor, and now you're telling me you're giving it up. What the hell is going on?" I just find it incredible. I mean, it's a bad time in UFC at the moment in terms of public relations. Because not only do you have John Jones saying, "I can't be asked with this," you got Masvidal. Well, not that, but they want more money. They don't think they're being well compensated. But when you got Conor McGregor doing it, who is the level above them, you know, he's probably, maybe he is the biggest guy in terms of pay-per-view buy rates. I'm trying to think who else smashes it. I don't think there is anybody else. I will have forgotten someone now. It's just amazing. I know that somebody like Michael Jordan did this. So if you go back to the 90s, Michael Jordan did it, obviously retired from basketball, went and played baseball for a bit, and then he came back. That just kind of felt different to me because there was... you could watch the Last Dance documentary, right, and get an idea of what was going on. But there was kind of extenuating circumstances. With Conor McGregor, it just feels a little bit like when something doesn't go his way, he realizes the power he has through social media, and he's like, "I'm going to use that for my advantage, and I'm going to try and steer this in exactly the direction that he wants." He clearly wants to have his rematch with Khabib, which I totally understand, because that match was mired in controversy, especially everything that was going on around it, and he lost. That's the thing. He lost. And it doesn't matter how much money you have or you've made your own whiskey or whatever else you're doing. If you are a competitive fighter and you have a loss on your record against someone that got very, very heated, and while I do enjoy some of Conor McGregor's pre-match talk, I felt like we went in the wrong direction there. I found it a little bit uncomfortable, and I just don't think it's areas we needed to go off in. It's an L on his record, and he wants to get that back. He doesn't think the UFC are playing ball, so he thinks, okay, I would try and back them into a corner, and it wouldn't surprise me as well if he'd seen what John Jones and Masvidal and everybody else had been doing, and was like, sweet, I can jump on this, make it feel like a domino effect. The walls are coming crashing in on the UFC, and then maybe I'll get what I want, which again is probably some kind of fact. Maybe even another fight against Diaz. I don't know. It doesn't sound like he's interested in that. But it's just hilarious. Who on earth would get a tweet like that? And maybe it turns out to be real, and I act like an absolute moron. But if we're talking about boy who cried wolf, who the hell would get another third tweet that is written so nonchalantly like it is, as if he's just paddling on a pool. And it's like, oh, I'm going to tweet about how I enjoyed the Naked Gun films, which are amazing, by the way. I can't believe anybody would actually buy into it. I was listening to a radio station over here. Clearly just saw it in the headlines that go around, and they put it in their news bulletin, and they got rinsed. They got absolutely rinsed. And then later on in the day, when they were running the same headline, they made sure they caveated with, oh, it is the third time that he's retired. He's not going to retire. He's going to come back to the world of mixed martial art and do his one martial art. And I at least hope he does, from a fan's point of view. McGregor is fun. He is bonkers, as said there, and he's done way too much. He's done stuff that he shouldn't have been forgiven for. But that kind of ties into who are other controversial sports stars. I mean, Mike Tyson is the first one that comes to mind. There'll be absolutely loads. We don't need to get into them. But, dudes who are so important and integral to their sport, they can kind of do whatever they want, and everything will be okay. But there is just 100% no way that he's retiring at the age of 31, especially if his whole point is that he wants the fights that excite him. They'll still be out there. If you give it up entirely, you give it up entirely. And Floyd Mayweather is right. Floyd Mayweather is 100% right. He did indeed say, Conor McGregor said just before this, he said he wanted to come back and have a fight soon. And you probably could argue, there may be something else in terms of the UFC and Dana White don't actually want to put Conor McGregor in a match right now, in a fight right now, because he can't put any fans in the building. And a huge reason Conor McGregor fights can make so much money, because all the people from Ireland come over, they do crazy gates, in Madison Square Garden, when the ticket prices were up, they made an absolute fortune. And Conor McGregor will still do that on pay-per-view, but you are just cancelling out like 5, 6, whoever knows how many $1 million. But even despite that, you have to think that we're going to come together to figure out how. Because what's he going to do? He's 31 years old. Let's say he has an amazing life and he lives till 81. What's he going to do for all that time? Just hang around and drink his whiskey and keep getting into these bizarre scuffles that then come out and then get blown over, or smashing bus windows? I have no idea what's going on, but it just made me laugh. It made me chuckle to such a great degree. And we never talk about MMA on here, and I am a big fan of MMA, which ties into the Jon Jones stuff as well. The Jon Jones stuff, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I find that much more interesting. Again, another guy who has a lot of controversy in his past. But it sounds like to him, he wants the kind of, this is the argument, he wants money closer to someone like Deontay Wilder is getting. That's hearsay, we don't know. But he wants more than it's in his contract. But what he has done is he has gone out to ESPN and say, look, if you want to get these pay-per-view fights, because Jon Jones is a pay-per-view draw, not to the Conor McGregor levels, but still better, why don't you muster up the money? So he's not saying he wants to walk away and he's happy to fight. He's just not happy to fight under the terms of his deal. And then that gets even more murky, because I think he just signed a brand new contract. So why the hell did you sign it? I don't know. I mean, talking about Deontay Wilder too, we're just on a path now. Apparently, we may get Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3 in Australia on Boxing Day, meaning it airs on Christmas Day in the States, and over here it'll be like 1, 2, 3:30 in the morning. But if you're a UK boxing fan, you're used to that. I mean, I suppose that's because, especially in New Zealand, I don't know what the situation in Australia is, but New Zealand have knocked out all their cases of the global situation at the moment. So I imagine fans can start going to events again soon. And if it is similar in Australia, then yeah, you can have probably 50,000 packed into an arena and broadcast it across the world. And boxing has done that in the past. When it comes to Christmas Day, that's a fight all in itself. We did a reaction to that after the match. I'm not surprised that Deontay Wilder instigated the rematch, because it's a pride thing, if nothing else. He wasn't just going to lay on his back and pretend it didn't happen. But after what I saw in that second fight, I just don't know what Deontay Wilder could do. May have been a bad night. Maybe his stupid excuse about the suit that he wore to the ring was true. I mean, it wasn't. There's no two ways about it. I don't think anyway. But I'll be amazed. Boxing has thrown up far more surprises. And let's say Deontay Wilder does knock out Tyson Fury, then that throws the whole Anthony Joshua and, Dillian White. Oh, man, what would happen there? That would be a powder keg ready to explode. So in terms of combat sports, there is loads going on. Maybe even get some crossover. Dillian White has said that he wouldn't mind stepping into the octagon. I can't remember the guy's name now, but there is a UFC dude that apparently was going to do something with Dillian White. Come on, brain. I can see his damn face. Stupid, doesn't matter. But the point is, maybe a way to get round all of this and try and steer people's interests as the world does get back together is by pushing everyone into one big ball. I mean, that won't happen. That's essentially what UFC was to begin with, right? If you go back and watch UFC 1, that is like putting, the irony right now, or the coincidence, that is like putting a bunch of fighters on an island and saying, just fight. And you get these huge sumo wrestlers taking on these small taekwondo guys or whoever. But the cool thing about it is it ended this myth of the big guy will always beat the small guy, which is why in professional wrestling, when you get numpties going, well, Braun Strowman would easily beat Conor McGregor. No, he wouldn't. Conor McGregor would ruin Braun Strowman because Braun Strowman isn't a fighter. When you know how to fight, it doesn't matter how strong you are. If Braun Strowman threw a lucky punch and connected on Conor McGregor's chin by luck, then yes, Conor McGregor would probably go down. But he's not that stupid, and he's too quick. And he would you see? Go watch UFC 1. All my proof is right there. I don't need to go on about it. Right, that's enough. That's enough ranting from me. Like I said, I just think it's awesome. Conor McGregor, what a character. I guess that's probably one of the reasons he's got as far as he had. Like I say, we're going to stick to fitness mostly, but I love sports and I love talking about them. Like the video, share the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, ding ding, all that cool things. Do have a Patreon, as I mentioned before, patreon.com/Simon316. All of this is in the link, the description below. There's links and whatnot. Thank you for joining me once again. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.